everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, y'all already know I do it every single time because it's important. It is. I want our little tribe to grow. I do. And I will never, ever be a gatekeeper. Not over here. And because of that, I just want to invite everybody in. Come on in, come on in. If you've been hanging out with us, you've been in the comments, enjoying yourself, and you still haven't subscribed, listen, this is all you got to do. Go down in your settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, the beast, that algorithm is still on my neck, y'all. It is, but we will get back on top. Also, I just want to thank all the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Listen, y'all are doing such a great job, and I appreciate it so very much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, that's simple too. Look around, find that super thanks button and click it, because all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some shout outs. We have quite a few. Y'all are so good to me, and y'all are so supportive, and I just appreciate it so very much. And first up is my girl. Yes, my girl, baby sis doll. She is everything. She is so supportive. She is always coming through. She has been with me since the beginning, and she never wavers in her support. And when she's not in the comments, I miss her. I do. And when she comes back, I am always happy to see her. So thank you, baby sister. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. Your presence is everything. And we also heard from Miss Eulette. She is everything. Eulette is always coming through, always supportive, always in the comments. You couldn't ask for a better squatty, a better reader than Eulette. She is a fierce fighter. She is just everything. And I appreciate her so very much. So thank you, Eulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Patricia Smith came through. Yes, she did. My girl Patricia said, I'm coming through today, and I appreciate it so very much. She is just everything. Now, she is not really active in the comments like a lot of you are, but Patricia is always supporting. She is. Most of the time when she comes through in the comments, she has something very insightful to say. I appreciate her presence. I appreciate her support. She's just everything. So thank you, Patricia. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Give Me Away. Oh, she came through. Yes, she did. She has been with me pretty much since the beginning, too. And Give Me Away is everything. She's funny. She's always in the comments. She's always supporting. You could not ask for more. She is the best. So thank you, thank you. Thank you, Give Me Away. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Lorna McKenzie came through. Yes, she did. Lorna is everything as well. She is always supporting, and she is always coming through. She is just down for the read. She is a ride or die. And I appreciate her so very much. Her presence, her knowledge, her support. It all means everything. So thank you, Lorna. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And then Darnetta DaCosta came through. Yes, she did. Darnetta is just everything. She is. She is the best of the best of the best, and I appreciate her support. Now, she is not one to be in the comments too much, but I tell you what, when she decides to post something, you best pay attention because it is going to be everything. So thank you, Dornetta. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Just thank you for coming through. All right, y'all. With all that said, I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all. I want to give another quick shout out to my girl, baby sis dolls, to Yulette, to Patricia Smith, to Jimmy Way. Love you, love you, love you. Lorna McKenzie and Darnetta Dakota. Y'all are everything, and I appreciate you so very much. I could not do it without y'all, without your support. It would be impossible. It just would. So thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all. With all that said, let's get to it. Y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, I have been up, down, and all around these internet streets. I've been ear hustling, seeing exactly what everybody is talking about. And listen, it is a controversy. I guess I could call it that. And it was initiated by the one that shall not be named. And he is our president. And he said some very disrespectful things about NATO troops that fought in Afghanistan. And it's not going down well. It's not going down well with Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and it definitely is not going down well with Prince Harry. And we're going to talk about his response, what Harry said in his statement, and the lack of response and a lack of statement coming from the so called commander in chief of the armed forces. That would be King Charles III or his heir, Willie Boy. Nothing has been said or anything has come out from Kensington Palace or Buckingham Palace as a response to this slight, this insult from the orange one. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Willie and Kitty, some things that we're going to kind of go over again because squatties have just absolutely decided to skull drag Kitty about her little performance she put on running back to shake someone's hand. And it looks like I said in my last podcast, I felt that it was performative. It was something that she had saw Megan do in the past. You know how Megan shakes hand with two hands. She'll shake your hand and then she'll put her other hand over it. She done incorporated that. How she bends down and talk to children. She's incorporated that. Now she's running back to see somebody. She's incorporated that. This woman has just systematically tried to just rip off Megan's personality. She has. Megan was doing it naturally. This is who she is. This woman is studying film of Megan and is putting on a performance. They always try to say that Megan is an actress. She's the only actress in the royal family. I absolutely disagree with that. Kate is an actress. Kate has been studying Megan, how she moves and everything, and when she goes out, she plays Megan. She absolutely plays the role of Megan, the Duchess of Sussex. Instead of being the patron of BAFTA, they should give her a BAFTA award for her performance. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the squatters are dragging her for it. And we have some other stuff we're going to talk about. Y'all know we always have some other stuff that I have dug up. So we're going to talk about that as well. Let's get started. Y'all know I'll stay here and talk about Kitty all day, drag her up and down these internet streets all day. But we have a lot more other stuff that we need to talk about. So we're going to start with this right here. I'm going to put this up. And this is an article from Feminagra, and they wrote about Harry's statement that he made after the orange one made such an insulting comment about NATO troops that served in Afghanistan while he was at Davos. And of course, this was very, very insulting to Prince Harry, him being a member of those NATO troops at the time. Yes, Prince Harry fought in Afghanistan alongside people who lost their lives. And of course, he had something to say about it. Why wouldn't he? Because it was very insulting. I really try to protect my peace and avoid everything and anything that the one that shall not be named is involved in or says as if it was the bubonic plague. But I am under the understanding from what I picked up here on these internet streets that he was a hot mess as usual over there at Davos. That he confused Greenland with Iceland and it was just a mess. But he also insulted the NATO troops by saying that they were not on the front line, that somehow they were in back of American troops, which we know that this is not true. And of course, this was very insulting to Harry because he was a member of those troops, those NATO troops that were on the front line in Afghanistan. So he did come out with a statement, and this is the article that Feminagra wrote about that said statement. It says Prince Harry cites British deaths as he rebukes the one that shall not be named Afghanistan remarks. And I'm not going to read a whole lot of this, but just some parts that I really felt that Feminagra just absolutely framed it perfectly. You know, it is a lot of talk being said about if Harry should have made a statement, what he said in his statement. You know, it is always someone lining up to criticize. I saw where old No Neck Sarah Vine had something to say, and old Pie Face Taz had something to say. It is always somebody who has something negative to say about Prince Harry when he went and served his country for 10 years and put his life on the line so old No Neck Sarah Vine could write the trash that she writes every time she puts her pen to paper and posts something in that rag that she works for. So she really needs to recognize and have some respect for a man who absolutely had no qualms in putting it all on the line for her freedom, the freedom to spew all of the bile that she does from that rag. All right, y'all, let's get into this article a little bit. I'm not going to read all of it, but I just want to read some parts that I really felt that the writer captured the essence of what Prince Harry was saying in his statement. And it starts out by saying Prince Harry has issued a calm but firm response to comments that question the role of NATO forces in Afghanistan. His words do not trade in spectacle. They rest on record, service, and loss. By grounding his statement in lived experience, Harry shifted the focus away from political noise and back to the people who carried the war and still lives with its costs. Exactly. Harry did not go after the orange one. He did not. All Harry did was spoke of his own lived experience and how he feels that these NATO troops should be treated, and that includes him. And all I can say is, where is the lie? Now, this is the statement that Prince Harry made. It says, in 2001, NATO invoked Article 5 for the first time and only time in history. Every allied nation was obliged to stand with the United States in Afghanistan, and the Allies answered that call. I served there. I made lifelong friends there, and I lost friends there. The United Kingdom alone had 457 service personnel killed. Thousands of lives were changed forever. Families are left carrying the cost. Those sacrifices deserve to be spoken about truthfully and with respect, Prince Harry said. Now, tell me how that is somehow attacking the orange one. That's not an attack. That is someone calling you out on your bullshit. And that's exactly what the orange one was on. He was on some major bullshit. I'm just saying. And it says Harry served 2 tours in Afghanistan during the 10 years in the British Army. He trained as an officer. He deployed first under strict secrecy and later returned as an Apache helicopter co-pilot and gunner in Helmand province. He described friendships formed and friends lost. He also pointed to the families left behind, many of whom continued to shoulder the emotional and financial strain long after the fight ended. Where is the lie? And where is the attack? No, he never attacked the orange one. All he did was, like I said, call them out on his BS, because at the end of the day, everybody was on the front line. The NATO allies was on the front line, and the U.S. troops was on the front line. And it is ridiculous to be this disrespectful on the world stage. And I don't blame Harry for saying something about it. It is as if he spit in all of those troops' faces. And why would it not be something said about that? And this goes on and says, his statement do not seek praise, it asks for accuracy. He said those sacrifices deserve to be spoken about truthfully and with respect, especially when political rhetoric risks flattering or erasing allies' contributions. Where is the lie? How could you lessen someone's contribution to a war where they lost as many lives as the people of the United Kingdom? It is so ridiculous, but not surprising, because we know exactly who we have here as president. It is my feelings that this is the reason why I never speak on him. I never call him by name, and I will never forgive the people who put him in office. I was not one who did so, but I would never forget the ones who did. This is a man that is an embarrassment. And I think Harry did the right thing to call him out and to show him up for the embarrassment that he is. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty just put it in a perfect perspective. They said this: left, the one that shall not be named, insulting British and NATO troops, saying that they were kept back from the front line. And right, Prince Harry in Afghanistan stopped an interview running to join his group of soldiers headed for their helicopter for what appears to be a real operational task. Exactly. We all saw it. Harry was on the front line, and we also read it in spare. Harry did his job, and he did it in a situation that was life and death. So miss me, Orange One, with all of your BS, because this is a man who has never sacrificed anything, talking and disrespecting people who sacrifice everything. I'm just saying. And this squatty reposted Harry's statement and said respect in capital letters and said, Prince Harry totally owned the one that shall not be named in a very simple statement and does not even mention him at all. Harry didn't even give him the grace of mentioning his name, which is perfect because we all know how thin skinned this man is, and a direct shot from someone like Prince Harry would have put in motion more and more political rhetoric and attacks. It would have been the domino effect. And that is the reason why I feel like Prince Harry was absolutely pitch perfect in his statement, in his response. And this why they reposted Harry's statement and said, Prince Harry's statement in response to the one that shall not be named's hurtful comments regarding NATO's troops in Afghanistan, claiming that they stayed a little back, a little off the front lines. Well done, good King Harry, for those powerful words and for standing up for your military family. Exactly. Harry is always going to do that. He will never back down when it comes to his military family. Let's not get it twisted. Harry will never back down when it comes to defending anybody he considers family. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This is a repost, and the original post says Prince Harry will always stand up for veterans. Let's see if his old papa does, or is he going to do the state visits so no more secrets are uncovered about the dirty brother on a certain island? Makes you think who else was involved? Maybe Charles himself. I don't think Charles was involved. He was too busy hunching the horse and wishing to be her tampon. He was so enthralled with the horse, he wouldn't know what to do with an attractive woman. Not saying these young girls were women. They were not. They were children. And I was just making a joke. I understand exactly the severity of what the one formerly known as Prince did. And the squatty that reposted this said, Harry has balls and a spine of steel. Willie and Charles are pathetic, spineless itches. They won't say SHIT. They'll just do some military cosplay next week and call it a day. Bookmark this. All right. I would not be shocked that this particular squatty isn't right on point because we all know they are performative. They have no substance. These people cosplay everything. They might as well just be considered a pantomime troupe at this point. Someone who just plays the part, not lives the part. And this particular squatty posted this and said, Prince Harry is not the head of state, but he is the only royal with any balls. Right now, our King Charles, who is actually the commander of the armed troops, is hiding behind the curtains, while his son is defending the troops in his absence. Hashtag People's Prince Harry. Exactly. Where is Charles? Where is Willie? I mean, they talk a real good game, but when the rubber hits the road, they go missing. I'm just saying, just an observation here. It seems as if they are cowards. My last podcast, that was the name, that they're cowards. And all I can say is, where did I lie? Did I lie? I don't think I did. And like this squatty said, that's exactly where they are, hiding behind them 400-year-old curtains. Yes, the ones that they have left because Willie done snatched most of them down since Harry has been in the United Kingdom and absolutely balling out, slaying all the dragons. Yes, he done snatched all the curtains down except the ones that they are hiding behind, him and Charles. And I'm gonna put this up. This particular squatty posted one of my favorite pictures of Kitty. Yes, her and Willie, they were on the charm offense when the one that shall not be named and his sleepy wife, the showgirl showed up over there in the United Kingdom. Y'all remember when the showgirl was standing there looking like she was a lamp? That was a hot mess. But I digress. Yes, they thought they were really doing something. They thought they were being diplomatic. And they didn't understand that they were dealing with a snake. It's hard for other snakes to recognize each other. But these people are nothing but snakes. And they thought they were out snaking the big snake. The one that shall not be named has been snaking a whole lot longer than Willie and Kitty has. And they really thought they could really put on the charm offense and outsnake him. What a joke. But this particular squatty posted about it and said, the one that shall not be named, telling William Parker Bowes and Kate that the British troops never really fought in Afghanistan's front line and the British troops didn't suffer losses. It suits you right, William Parker Bowes and the rest of the royals, after sucking after after sucking after sucking the one that shall not be named's private part so hard, he is now disrespecting the British Army. Where is the lie? And then on top of that, he threw, what was it, last week? He announced that he was putting tariffs on the United Kingdom. Yes, after all of that sucking up that they did, you could hear Kitty and Willie sucking all the way across the ocean over here in the United States, and they still ended up with naught. They still got tariffs put on them, and now the one that shall not be named is doing nothing but giving them the middle finger. I would say I love it, but I don't love it because it's not fair. What he's doing to the troops, that right there, I could not condone that. I'm saying. So I can't say I love it, but I can say I'm not surprised by it. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted that very same picture and said this: we don't need their statement. Their action speaks for them. Where is the lie? Where is it? Because we know it's going to be some watered down version of something that one of those courtiers have written. These people, they don't have original thought. They just do what is told to them to do. I saw I can't remember where I saw it. It was in a comment section somewhere. And one person was saying that the courtiers are the ones with the true power because these people are absolutely puppets and the courtiers are the puppet masters. And that is not difficult to believe when you really, really become a royal watcher and you see how these people move. They absolutely move like they don't have a thought in their heads. They're not free thinkers. Charles is the only one in that family that I would absolutely say maybe has had an original thought in his life. Now, it's not many, but he has had some original thoughts. The rest of them, not so much. And then, well, I'll say Anne too. Anne and Charles. The rest of them, not an original thought between them. I'm just saying. That includes Kitty. And this squatty said, and the spineless UK royals who love to dress up in military uniforms they never earned stay silent. Where is the lie in that? They love to dress up in those uniforms. I'm telling you, when they went to, I think it was a World War II memorial, and at that time, Andrew could still go out and be seen in polite company. He and Charles showed up over there in full regalia, especially Charles. Charles had on the uniform and everything, and it looks like he had every medal that it was in existence in the UK, and looked like he maybe even commissioned more to be made so he could hang it on that uniform. He had so many medals on this uniform, it was ridiculous. And he was there to honor the people who had actually put their bodies on the line. Here, this man who has never sacrificed anything was weighted down with all these metals. I made a joke at the time that I didn't know how the plane made it over there with all those metals aboard. I was surprised that it was able to take off from the airport due to the weight of all those metals. But yeah, they love to cosplay military. But when the rubber hits the road, when they really have to put some skin in the game, they always stay silent. Not Harry, them. They stay silent. And I'm going to put this up. The squatties start doing something after Harry made his statement about what the one that shall not be named said about NATO troops. They start posting pictures of Harry on the battlefield. Yes, pictures of Harry when he was in Afghanistan. It just filled my heart with joy just to see Harry. Harry was out there. He was out there on the front line. He put it all out there for the freedom of the United Kingdom. He did that. And for squatties just to decide, just spontaneously, to start posting pictures of Harry doing his duty, ooh, I'm telling you, I chose the two that I really, really love the most, but it was so many. My timeline is giving me life. It is because squatties always come up with a new and creative way to honor Harry when needed, to honor Megan when needed. Squatties are amazing. They never cease to amaze me. And this right here is just a wonderful thing. I'm going to start with this one. And this squatty posted Harry out there on a tank. Yes, Harry was in a tank fighting. He was. He was on the ground. And it says new pictures of Prince Harry on the front lines in Afghanistan in 2015 released. The Duke of Sussex served 2 tours in Afghanistan and served 10 years in the military. He did that. He did that. And for some of the people, especially those flying monkeys over there, to have the nerve to attack him for no reason. Now, I could understand if he was doing something, if he was hurting somebody, if he wasn't the man that he is. But to attack him, and Harry has done nothing, nothing to deserve it. And that is the reason why I always have nothing but smoke for anybody. And I mean anybody that comes for Harry. I'm just saying. And here's my other favorite one. Look at Harry. Harry's out there, hadn't had a bath in weeks. You can tell he has been in it. Yes, Harry has been in the fight. And you can tell he was not out there playing patty cake. Harry was fighting. And we know by his accounts in Spare, Harry had to take some people's lives. Harry went out there playing, and he did it for Queen and country. And for people to sit on panels and criticize him and say he doesn't deserve security, his life is not even worth that, it's disgraceful. It is absolutely disgraceful. And the squatty that posted this said, he wears his heart on his sleeve. I will be forever proud of Prince Harry. He is a true prince and a good man. He is. Harry has always been the person he is today. And that is a good man. I love this. More, please. I hope more and more squatties will post pictures of Harry out on the front line because, like I said, my timeline is giving me life. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, we stand with hashtag Good King Harry and all allied troops who fought in Afghanistan, especially those who lost their lives. True heroes, every single one. Where is the lie? Where is it? I mean, 457 British is trending because that's how many people lost their lives, how many soldiers lost their lives in defense of freedom in Afghanistan. Yes, and also, I just want to say this. I understand how insulting this is, but This man, the one that shall not be named, he has disrespected American troops. He was over in Normandy. It was the anniversary of the landing on the beaches of Normandy, and he was over there for a memorial service. And he did not want to go out and pay his respect to American troops that are buried there because he didn't want to get his hair wet. And he called them suckers. So just know that this man has no respect for military service or military people if it is American or if it is allied. He has no respect, period. So I hope that can give some people some comfort that it isn't about the allies, it is about the man. And also, as you can see, good King Harry is trending as well. If you be a good man, a stand up man, people will always have respect and they always will respond to it. Yes, good King Harry is trending. And I love that. I do. And this squatty says Prince Harry will always have my respect, head and shoulders above his coward family who sucks up to the media in exchange for positive coverage. Where is the lie? Where is it? Because at the end of the day, that's all they want. They want positive coverage. They want to keep the facade going. They want to continue to keep the grift going. They care way more about that than they do anything. They don't care anything about the people. They care about keeping the grift going. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This is a repost, and the original post says, do you imagine how much power Harry has and how jealous William is to leave town when Harry's around? Not even just stay home, but literally leave town. You know, I never even thought about that. They left town and stayed and stayed until they thought Harry was gone. And the squatter that reposted this said, this is what I'll never understand. William admitting that Harry is so powerful he can make William flee his own country when Harry does a whistle stop visit. Why, oh, why does William feel the need to admit that he's powerless when it comes to his younger brother? Why not stay in London and stand your ground? Do what you want, stay in, go out. Who cares? Exactly. Exactly. Why are you hiding? When I saw this post, I said to myself, that is so profound. Why is he leaving town? I mean, it makes no sense. Do he really think that Harry cares? I mean, Harry is not going there expecting to see him. Why does he feel that he has to be out of town? Harry ran him away from his home. And he says, why is he so obsessed with letting people know that he goes into serious crisis mode whenever Harry touches down at Heathrow? Exactly. This is hilarious because when you really think about it, it is hilarious, isn't it? Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I mean, he runs like a scared rabbit out of town, stays there, doesn't come back until he thinks Harry is surely on his way back to Montecito. I cannot with William and Kitty. I can't. But we all know that the future king and queen is dumb as rocks. They are. But I'm telling you, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Because it is so weird that they get completely out of town every time Harry makes an appearance. Wonder what they would do, or wonder what they will do if Meghan and Harry and the kids show up. I'm telling you, they might go to the North Pole or somewhere in the Antarctica somewhere. I can't. I can't. All right, y'all. I want to put this up. I want to talk about this post because this is the weirdest thing. Now, I know this has happened before. I can't remember what network did it. I don't know if it was ITV. I'm thinking it was ITV that got this Harry impersonator to, to go over Harry's testimony and do it as a dramatization. Y'all remember that? Well, it looks like GB News have followed suit. And look what this squatty posted. It says GB News hired a Prince Harry impersonator to mock his emotional testimony that the Daily Mail made his wife's life a misery. Harry is one of the 7 high profile plaintiffs, including Elton John and Elizabeth Hurley, suing over allegations of unlawful information gathering. Yes, GB News did that. How low can you go? Evidently to the bottom of the center of the earth when it comes to GB News. It's no low that they won't go. They got a Harry impersonator to go over the testimony, well, the witness statement that Harry made, and had it to the point where they made fun of the fact that Meghan had suffered at the hands of the media. Can you imagine that? This particular squatty that posted this said, I need the Sussexes to sue GB News next. Me too, because that whole thing about Doria going to jail, that was a absolute travesty and a bridge way, way, way too far. They should have came at them then. But no, here they are doing this nonsense. It says go forward with that defamation case on Doria on behalf of the false claim that she was in jail. GB News has been quietly settling defamation cases left and right because they know they have no chance of winning. They would cave immediately. They're disgusting. Where is the lie? Where is it? I cannot believe that these people would do something like this. Well, yes, I can, because they are GB News, and that means they're the scum of the earth. I mean, but I said that too about that whole thing about Doria. To me, that was just too far. I mean, you can cross the line, but at that particular time, when that woman sit on national television and just threw it out, just casually threw it out, that lie that Doria had been in jail. And I must say, I absolutely agree with this squatty. GB News is being propped up by rich donors, a few rich donors at that. And a good lawsuit would absolutely assist it to slip down the drain where it belongs. And a good lawsuit would drain their pockets. It would. And they would no longer be viable. Now, I understand that Harry and Meghan are pretty much tired of going after these flying monkeys. I know it can absolutely be exhausting, but this right here is a golden opportunity because they're already in a death spiral. All you have to do is to land the final blow, and they are done. Now, that's my thoughts on it. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I think it's worth it. I really do. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I want to put this up because this squatty is highlighting an article that came out in Geo. Geo is one of these online news sites, and there's several of them that really focus in on what's going on with the royals. And I noticed that Geo is one that favors Kensington Palace. They are pro Willie and Kitty. And so to see this is a shocker because this particular squatty posted this article and it says Princess Kate accused of running divorce campaign against Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. Not Willie and Kitty, just Kitty. Just Kitty. And the squatty that posted this said, ha ha ha, lies of 1,000 years is finally coming out. I said this before that these two are green snakes under green grass. It's sad and it's disgusting that a family member is doing this to family for popularity. Envy and jealous is a disease of the heart. Where is the lies? But the only thing I disagree with what this squatty said is they didn't say Willie. They said Kitty. Now, do I believe Willie is involved in it? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. But I believe Willie and Kitty equally wants Harry and Meghan's marriage to fail. Why? Because it makes them look better that they have managed to stay together. We all know that they're not really together. It's a facade, but they want it to be them. They want to be the golden couple. They want to be the fairy tale. They managed to have the happily ever after, at least the performative happily ever after. So, yeah, this is no surprise. It definitely is not a surprise to squatties. We have known that they have been planning these stories about Harry and Meghan's marriage forever to deflect away from theirs and to also try to cause conflict within Harry and Meghan's marriage. They want it to fail so bad so they can be the ones, like I said, to have the performative happily ever after. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this, but yeah, it is no surprise. And I'm gonna put this up. This squatty posted why they do not want Harry and Meghan to have a successful marriage. That is the reason why all the planning of the stories and trying to start rumors that Harry and Meghan are not happy together because the spare is not supposed to be successful. He is not supposed to have a happy marriage. He is supposed to be the failure. He is supposed to be the one that is the disgrace, like, the former prince. Harry has not played by their rules. And I want to talk about what this squatty put up. And look at the illustration. We're going to look at that first. The illustration on why they will never be happy that Harry is happy. They won't. Number one, they're miserable, so they don't want anybody to be happy. But look what this squatty says. It says, no, the royal family will never rest easy while Prince Harry remains a financially independent, happily married family man. And it says, with no real accomplishments, William can only be seen as aspirational if his brother is made to be seen as less than. That is the reason why. That is why all the stories, that is why trying to come in between Harry and Meghan, that is why they tried to stop the wedding because they knew this was a love match and they knew it was not going to be good for the crown. They knew that Meghan was exceptional. They knew she was going to show up Kitty. They knew all of this. And that is the reason why it was that big push to stop the wedding. Then it says, Family Man was supposed to be Prince William's narrative. Dependent Bachelor was supposed to be Prince Harry's reality. Exactly. They wanted him walking around in rags in a shack, doing all the work and being dependent while he drank himself into oblivion. He became the quintessential spare, and Harry would have none of it. Harry has become successful, financially independent. He has a beautiful wife and children in sunny Montecito. He is financially successful. He's giving away money. He's helping people. They have this successful foundation. And that was not supposed to be his narrative. That is the reason why William is so mad. Harry has outdone him, and all his life he'd been told that Harry was going to be his wingman, his scapegoat, and he would never rise above his rank, which means he never was supposed to do better than William. He wasn't supposed to get a better wife. He wasn't supposed to have a better house. He wasn't supposed to have more money. And Harry and Meghan might end up having more money than them. Isn't that something? I love it. I love it. And the squatty that posted this said, for those in 2026 who still don't understand why Prince William is a bully, is so angry, and why Tom Sykes is a failure, articles are getting more unhinged. This is the reason. And this is why Prince Bully needs a crisis manager. Yes, he is coming off the hinges because Harry is not playing by the rules. He is not being the usual spare, the usual screw up, the usual unhinged one. No, as long as Harry was falling out of clubs and using drugs, oh, they was happy. How many times have they said, we want the old Harry back? We want the old Harry back. They want that Harry back because this Harry right here makes them very, very uncomfortable. It does. I love it, y'all. I think this squatty got it right on point. All right, y'all. I want to talk about something I talked about in my last podcast, and I just kind of breezed over it, but I made the point that when Kate did this walkabout and she took off and started running, and to shake hands with a woman, when a woman right next to the woman that she shook hands with was in a wheelchair and was holding flowers, Kate didn't even see her. She went straight for this other woman. And I said right then and there, it was performative. It was Kate, being an actress that she is, doing her best to play the part of Megan Sussex. This is what Kate was doing. And I'm going to put this up. This particular squatty was posting about that same event and said this. 8 years later, attention seeking Kate Middleton finally had the opportunity to step into Megan's shoes by reproducing that wonderful moment Megan Sussex had when she spontaneously walked towards the crowd. Megan will always be one step ahead of Copycat Middleton. Exactly. Before Megan, Kate would have never. She sits around and watch old films of Megan doing walkabouts, and she does nothing but copy. Copy and paste Kate. That's who it is. Kate. Copy and paste. And I'm going to put this up. This squatter posted an article from Hello Canada talking about this nonsense that Kate had done, just reenacting everything that Megan has done in her life. The next time they make a movie about Megan and Harry, they should cast Kate in the role of Megan because she knows that role better than anybody because she has been playing it for over 6 years now. She has. And this particular squatty who posted this said, I knew 100% that this was a planted person and a fabricated moment by KP so their minions could write articles about it. And sure enough, here we are. They are so predictable. Where is the lie? Where is it? I'm surprised this woman wasn't on Good Morning Britain. Or what is the other one? I don't even know what all those morning shows are. Yes, I'm surprised she didn't make the rounds of the morning shows because we know that's the way they do it. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, thank you. When I saw you saying Kate and her attempt today, it reminded me of the Duchess of Sussex when she did it. If could have done a rain dance and made it rain as well, the headlines would have been off the charts. Exactly, because Megan did it in the rain. I bet she was praying for rain the whole time she was coming up there to Scotland. So she could absolutely do it in the rain because I believe with everything in me, this was a plant. And this other squatty said the craziness and the stupidity of the of the wigwam. Her goal in life to be an eternal copycat. Exactly. Exactly. She does not have an original bone in her body. She is such a empty vessel. to the point where she is in a dark room watching video of Megan over and over and over again. I imagine Kate being in a room like, you know, that movie Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes was sitting in the room naked watching movies over and over again. Kate, like, I'm sure she's not naked, but she's in the room watching these movies, these videos of Megan over and over and over again. Nobody can make me believe any different. All right, y'all, I want to switch gears and post this from Misan Harriman, and it is about Caroline Flack. The new documentary about her is on Hulu. If you have Hulu, please go over there and watch it. Let's run the numbers up because it shows how these rags killed her. They did. She is a victim of those rags. And one of the people who has blood on his hand, and that would be Martin Brennan, aka Dan Wooten. He led the way in the attacks on Caroline Flack. So Miss Harriman said this: as I watch Prince Harry's legal case with the press, I am also thinking of Caroline Flack, who was repeatedly hounded by the British press, and when they knew she was vulnerable, they doubled down. She was a ray of light. Please never forget her, folks. What a beautiful photo of a beautiful woman that the press claimed her life. They couldn't have cared less about what the truth was in her case. They wanted to make the money off of her. They smelled blood in the water and they continued to attack her until she was no more. So, if you want a reminder of what Prince Harry is fighting for or why he is fighting, he's fighting for people like Caroline Flack who could not fight for themselves and succumb under the pressure and the attacks of these flying monkeys. Yes, she could not hold up under it. She did not have the mental strength. And Harry is out here slaying dragons for her. And also, I want to put this up for this young girl, too, her family. Her name was Millie Dower. It says Millie Dower was a 13-year-old schoolgirl who was murdered. UK tabloid journalists and PIs hacked into her phone, leading her parents to believe that she was still alive and gave them false hope. Anyone supporting the Daily Mail because Prince Harry is taking them on is supporting this. Exactly. Yes, they hacked a dead girl's phone in order to put stuff, I want to say the other word, on their front pages. They did that and put that family through HE double hockey sticks because of it. These are the dragons that Harry is out here trying to slay. Harry is a hero. And don't let anybody convince you any differently. These people are horrible and very evil people. Finally, I want to put this up about Prince Harry. This particular squatty posted it, and I just found it to be perfect. It says Prince Harry served his country with honor and courage. He knows what it means to fight for values greater than oneself. Once again, he shows strength by standing up to dishonest media and journalists who try to destroy what matters most to him. Hashtag Prince Harry. Harry is not going to budge. He is always going to be David trying to bring down Goliath. He is. You don't mess with him. You don't mess with his family without just understanding it will be a fight. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.